everyone, sorry I am looking like a hot mess today. It's just one of those days, but I wanted to jump on for you guys really quick and talk about a hot topic in the world of nutrition and PCOS in general, and that is carbs. So the question becomes, are carbs good for PCOS or are carbs the enemy of PCOS, right? And it's just not that black and white, unfortunately. There's a lot of gray area. Carbs are an essential nutrient for anybody, including those with PCOS. They actually don't have as much of an impact on our blood sugar dysregulation as we've been led to believe in the past few years with this ketogenic diet trend and various low carb marketing strategies such as that. So do simple carbohydrates cause blood sugar spikes? Yes, absolutely. Eating simple carbohydrates like simple sugars, white breads, white tortillas, stuff like that is processed, doesn't have any fiber in it, yes, that is absolutely going to cause a blood sugar spike for anybody, including those women with PCOS, which is not something we want. But does that mean that all carbohydrates are bad? No, absolutely not. Some carbohydrate choices that are better for women with PCOS are going to be the ones that contain fiber. So complex carbohydrates, right? That's going to be whole grain, multigrain breads. It's going to be fruit. It's going to be whole grain pastas. It's going to be brown rice versus white rice. It's going to be those heartier, complex carb sources. And why are those better for people with PCOS? Well, they don't cause dramatic blood sugar spikes like the simple carbohydrates do. This is better for people with insulin resistance, like women with PCOS. This provides more nutrition in general to the entire population, not just women with PCOS. But it's very important to curb that blood sugar graph. And we don't want these large spikes and dips that we'll see with simple carbohydrates. We want the fiber there to cushion that blow. So what else can we do to kind of cushion that blow when we are eating carbohydrates? Well, there's a few things. Yes, we want fiber to be a part of that conversation. We want fiber to be paired with all carbs we eat. Even complex carbs, more fiber, the better. But protein is another thing that we can add into this regimen when we're eating carbohydrates, and we can see that graph, that blood sugar spike graph, normalizes a lot. So we see a flat curve. We don't see these big dips and these big peaks that we know are going to make us feel like crap. So pairing protein with any complex carbohydrate, even if you are eating a simple carbohydrate just because you're wanting to live your life, we're obviously not going to not eat a certain food for the rest of our life just because we have PCOS. So at those times where you are choosing to eat complex or simple carbohydrates, making sure you're eating a high quality protein source at the same time is going to make you feel so much better. It's going to protect your metabolism. It's going to curb that blood sugar spike, and it's going to help manage your hormones. So some high quality protein sources: egg, meat, nuts, legumes. All of those things are high quality protein sources that you can pair with your carb sources to normalize that blood sugar curve. Utilizing protein bars, protein powders, protein supplements of any sort can also be a good way of doing this as well, if you just want the convenience factor of knowing you're getting X gram of protein in a single serving. So that's going to be your best bet in navigating carbohydrates in the world of PCOS. I really advise you do not try to cut out carbs altogether. It's just not sustainable, for one. For two, we're teaching your body how not to utilize carbohydrates, which is not a good thing, because that means as soon as you do reintroduce those macronutrients at some point, which will happen at some point, right? Nobody's realistically going to be carb free for the rest of their life. There will come a point in every person on the ketogenic diet's life where they will be introducing carbs again. And all that you've done at that point is you've you've trained your body to not know how to properly process these nutrients, even more so than it already did, right? Because at PCOS, at baseline, our bodies aren't the best at utilizing carbs and metabolizing them correctly. So when you are constantly restricting, we see that you are just further training it to not know what the heck to do with those carbs that you're eating. So when you do end up reintroducing them, it can be this cascade of negative metabolic effects. So tanking your metabolism, spiking your blood sugar, causing hormonal chaos and making you just feel like crap. All these things we don't want to happen. So do not restrict carbs. Just be smart with your carbs. So one more time, what does being smart with your carbs look like? It means choosing those complex carbs whenever you can and not going for the simple carb choices. That's whole wheat, whole grain, items with fiber in it. It means pairing those carbs of any sort with a protein source, a high quality protein source. So what does that look like? If I'm gonna eat a banana today, I'm gonna put some peanut butter on it to curb that blood sugar curve. Another example, if I'm gonna eat oatmeal for breakfast, I'm gonna make sure I have some turkey sausage or an egg on the side to curb that blood sugar graph. So these are things that we can do very easily in our day that are gonna make such a large scale difference when it comes to managing our hormones. If you think about the root cause of PCOS and one of the biggest drivers of this condition being insulin resistance, then where do we need to start to make some changes and make ourselves feel better? We need to start with the insulin resistance. Cutting out carbs altogether is not a way to curb insulin resistance. Do you know why? Our bodies know how to make carbs even if we're not eating them. Our body has all of the building blocks to sit there when we have not eaten carbs for months. It can still build glucose molecules, and it still will build glucose molecules out of non-carbohydrate sources within our body. That's the nature of our body. We need carbohydrate. Our brain exclusively utilizes glucose as a fuel. Your body will always find a way to make glucose, whether or not you're eating it. So just avoiding sugar altogether, avoiding carbs altogether is not going to make your blood sugar improve. Being smart about it will, though. So I hope this quick little video today was helpful for you guys. This is a huge topic in the realm of PCOS and just nutrition in general, especially with the new year. I don't want you guys to get sucked into diet marketing schemes telling you you need to go carb free for the rest of your life. It's just not true. So listen to your dietitian. That's me. Eat the carbs, eat them smart, enjoy them, enjoy your life. Eat protein with your carbs, and just be mindful of what type of carbs we're putting into our body, and you will be fine. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for listening, and I will be posting again next week. Go ahead and make sure you shoot me a message or leave a comment if there's any topics specifically that you're looking to hear about. And if you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to do that so you can keep learning all this awesome PCOS information from a dietitian who also has PCOS. Okay, you guys, I'll see you next week.